Hey everybody, this is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous good-looking friends. Thank God the Invictus Meghan show is over. At least for today, we get 1 day rest, as we all know that on Monday, when William goes to New York City and he starts grabbing the attention of the press, we're going to see Meghan try and take over once again by shoving her face into every single magazine, by doing something. So let's just get our expectations set to know that without fail, this woman will try and steal the spotlight. But for now, what I want to do is just recap some of the best moments of the Invictus Meghan show, which I think many of you will agree with the things that I'm going to put forward. First and foremost, I'd like to start off and say that I think that Meghan is so anti-American and is pretty much a traitor to the USA. So her being there next year, I hope Invictus decides to keep her far, far away. Let's get started. Let's make one thing clear. And I know that Meghan's people are watching this. As hard as you guys had tried to spin the narrative of Meghan being this kind, compassionate American supporting veterans, people saw through it. And you guys look so pathetic that you supported, and even the media, who have been pumping out and cranking out lies, even supporting the 43% Nigerian, makes this like even laughable and discredits the media even further, which, now more and more people are opening their eyes to see that the media cannot be trusted. I think the most offensive thing out of the last couple of days that we have seen with Meghan Markle is her arrogance in thinking that she deserves to be marching with these veterans who have sacrificed so much. And she goes ahead and exploits it for her own personal profitable gain by putting herself in front and making it about herself. The biggest slap in the face is that she's leading the UK team. Like, who thought that that was a good idea? The disrespect is seriously off the charts. I mean, from behind, it looks like she's not even wearing pants. Truly, what you're witnessing here is trailer park trash. Sadly, when I look at this, I feel embarrassed because she is there as an American, looking all trashy and disrespectful, giving off the wrong impression of what this country represents. And quite frankly, it's a sad state of affairs when you look at Meghan Markle being the poster child for the woke and classless, and that's what she is. This nobody was like walking around as if her shit don't stink, parading around with a stupid rictus grin on herself, disrespecting not only the country that she's coming from, but disrespecting the UK, the one that she blatantly called racist. In any case, I'd like to see her pull this disrespect in a country like China or North Korea, or better yet, Iran. Try walking around in one of those countries as if you're not wearing any pants and see how far you get, Meghan. You see, the staff around them tell them what they want to hear. Otherwise, they know that they're going to be fired. And what they're failing to understand is that by not hearing the truth, that people are sick of them and recognize how fake and staged everything is, it makes it that much even more cringe when we see Meghan pull these stunts. Nobody believes the nonsense that's coming out of her mouth, even with full-on propaganda campaign that is being pushed out to change Meghan's brand. It's not working. And I guarantee that all those designers or things that she was trying to merch and push out into the public really are not translating into the dollar signs that those sponsors or so-called sponsors would like to see. So I guarantee Meghan is not going to have success in this area because people see through the BS. In addition to kissing up to the Nigerians in order to hang with people of color, and if you notice throughout, there was a theme of Meghan and Harry specifically choosing to pose with people of color as well as hug people of color and make it about people of color because they are the ones who want to push this racism narrative. Meghan thinks that she is some savior of Black people when in fact people recognize that she's using Black people to elevate herself, which is quite disgusting, in my opinion. But when the cameras are off or they realize the camera's not watching, they treat Black people like they're some type of pest and, are repelling them left and right. Clearly, you can see here how they're trying to get away from the Black people. I mean, as I've said before, the only racists in the royal family are these two. Anyhow, I think the best part of the Invictus Meghan show was seeing how the kids absolutely detest Meghan and wants to be nowhere around them and run away. We saw that there was a kid that ran away from Meghan while she was giving her scary face. We had this kid who looks absolutely disappointed that she was giving this medal. I mean, I would too if I saw this creepy ass looking woman staring in my face. You can see that this kid had enough of Meghan forcing herself onto people. You can see in this picture that Meghan's fake engagement and interest is not fooling anyone. Look at the mother with the glasses. She's looking at Meghan hard, being like, "You're such a fraud." I think the highlight for me was this little girl not wanting to accept this medal from Meghan and look pissed off. I mean, that truly says it all. And Harry's such a douchebag because he's forcing this girl to accept the medal when all he had to do was just put the medal around her neck. I mean, why force your wife onto other people? It just makes them hate her even more. And the result of doing that ends up in photos like this. The moment Harry turns his back, here is Meghan all by herself because nobody wants to talk to her, because nobody likes her. Clearly, this photo shows Meghan standing there twiddling her thumbs while everybody else has their backs to her. I think that this says enough. Meghan's over-the-top performance over the last couple days truly makes her look psychotic and manic, as if she does have a mental illness. And I truly believe that she does, because none of this looks normal. This one photo looks like Meghan participated in the tape challenge, and when she took the tape off, her face stuck that way. And how about this forced-looking cheesy grin to where it looks like her head is about to explode? And you know it's extra fake when the mark of the beast starts popping out in her forehead in the sign of this X. Satan is alive and well and walking this earth. Both these two are dealing with anxiety. You can see Harry is picking his cuticles. Meghan's got chipped nail polish, as well as her cuticles are all wrecked. You can bet that both these two were anxious about this performance, and they may be happy that it's over, but how much damage have they done? I think they've done a lot of damage to the Invictus Games, especially with Meghan making it the Meghan show. I can understand Harry's anxiety. I'd be nervous too if I had this ugly face staring so close up into me all day long. And allegedly, Meghan being so anal retentive and high-strung, her anxiety definitely rolls off onto Harry because, if he has to walk around making sure that Meghan is not upset, then obviously that's an additional stress that he has to take on, in addition to making this whole event be successful. So I can understand how he was so happy when he's not with her, and we saw that before she arrived, and then how his mood changed afterwards. Imagine seeing this all day long. It would drive you insane. Imagine Harry's trying to have a conversation and he can't do so without this woman's psychotic stare staring so close up on someone. Like, it's uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable looking at this photo. Harry was having such a good time without Meghan, and then she shows up and she is a complete buzzkill. You see that reflected in his face on many, many occasions, and it's been captured in many pictures. This couple has a very volatile relationship, and I will guarantee that Meghan's affection comes and goes with Harry, and she puts him through this psychological mind F. And I think this is a situation where she had moments where she was love bombing Harry and pretending to be the supportive wife and playing the role. But I also think that they had moments of vicious arguments at the same time during this Invictus Games. You can see the highs and lows in their moods. We've heard Harry admit that the job comes first. So, when they lied about Meghan wanting to unalive herself and having to put on makeup and going to Cirque du Soleil, as just like how his mom would be crying in the car right before she was supposed to get out for an engagement. I mean, we know the story. If anyone knows how to fake it, it would be him. Clearly, this is what he's doing. And Meghan, being an actress, not a very good one, but still an actress, knows how to turn it on and off. Clearly, she knows how to cry out of one eye on command. So this is not so difficult for these two. See, what I don't understand is, does Harry want the attention or not? I mean, here he is at the Invictus Games, and in the closing ceremony, he is complimented. And when attention is drawn to him, look at how he reacts.
And its patron, Prince Harry. Thank you. Thank you to the Invictus.
Like, what are we seeing here? Is this a sign of guilt? Is this a sign of humility? Do you think he's embarrassed that he hasn't given this organization his full, unselfless self? I think it's that. I think he knows that he has profited off of these veterans and, his conscience. I do think that Harry does have some type of sociopathy, even though he has no problem lying and being spiteful and vengeful. I think deep down inside, after the fact, he does express some type of remorse, as opposed to this harlot that he's sitting next to. Meghan, on the other hand, is a psychopath. Meghan's so insecure, she can't even let Harry have the spotlight for even just a second on his birthday. You can see how, uncomfortable she is that people are focusing on him as opposed to her when they are wishing him a happy birthday. This woman had the audacity to almost get up and go with Harry to ruin this moment. Meghan allowed Harry to have the spotlight on him to celebrate his birthday. As you can see, she stood back and she sat down, but there were moments where she would stand up just so everybody could see her. And what's interesting is that they zoom in on her face in this case, and you can see how hard this is for her to not be the center of attention.
Ooh, what have they got for him? Like I'm a beer.
You know that this had to have been hard for her because remember her birthday? Harry wasn't even home for it. And here he is being given gifts and a whole stadium cheering for him. All the adulation that she wished she had. And you know that this is fake because she has the same rictus plastered grin on her face where she's clenching her jaw. None of this is genuine.
Everybody enjoying it, even the players as well.
We see the same mask slipping at the closing ceremonies when Harry was giving his speech. And I think it must have bugged her to no end that they cut her out of the closing ceremony. So you can see that even though she's painted this smile on her face, her micro expression of her face dropping shows right here.
But I also hope that you are mentally stronger than when you arrived.
You know the woman is seething inside that she didn't get a chance to grab the mic and give her words of wisdom to the audience. You just know it's eating her up inside. Now let's talk about how unpatriotic Meghan is. In addition to her attempting to take away our rights and freedoms here in the United States by violating people's First Amendment rights.
Please welcome
Meghan's enthusiasm for Nigeria was off the charts. Not only was she backing them during the games, but here she is at the closing ceremony going all out in support of them. But a totally different tune when the USA team came out.
Here is the United States of America, and among them the extraordinary Heather Sealover, an Air Force major who...
This crazy bitch was going all out for Nigeria, and here she is barely able to sing one of America's classics. Like, what's wrong with you, Meghan? You're a total anti-American traitor is what you are. What's disgusting about this is that all these injured veterans coming up on stage that have been injured fought for this bitch's freedoms, and she couldn't even give them the proper respect. This is why Meghan Markle needs to be banned. If Meghan can't even treat her disabled sister who's in a wheelchair with any kind of respect, if Meghan can't even treat her own sister who's disabled in a wheelchair with some type of compassion and empathy, do you really think she gives a shit about the people on this stage? No. Even next to her, the people are ignoring her.
Onto the stage as the Parade of Nations prepares to reach.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that same enthusiasm she shared for Nigeria. The one part of the closing ceremony that I thought was shameful was I felt an uncomfortableness for Harry when the UK came out. And, you know, for him to be standing there and seeing these injured veterans cross the stage and knowing what he did to his own country, I think is disgraceful. And don't you love it how Meghan seizes this last opportunity to hug a particular demographic to show everyone that she's down with her people? As you can see that was all staged, as she doesn't hug anybody else. Well, if they were not of that demographic, she didn't hug them. Even though the press had been positive, many people have picked up on Meghan's fakeness, especially around her focus on a certain demographic and identity politics. People were not stupid, and they saw through the BS. I think what was satisfying was seeing the hosts of the closing ceremony shade Meghan.
Guess who's also back? Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, is back. And he brought along the wonderful Duchess of Sussex. She is, yes. She's stoked to see you all, and I've got a feeling the feeling is mutual. Or are you just as excited to see her?
You all, and I've got a feeling the feeling is mutual. Or are you just as excited to see?
When you do that hand gesture and say that the feeling is mutual with the intonation of doubt, that totally gives it away that people were not happy. And there you have it, folks. People did not want Meghan there. People were annoyed. Kids didn't want to be with her. She came in, sucked the air out from under Harry, and in my opinion, all backfired. All it did was make Meghan look that much more of a pain in the ass, thorn in the side, and just overall manic. But what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below, and you know it. As always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe, and I will talk to you later. Bye!
It was such a fraud.